episode, we're not fucking talking about sex, okay? Pervs. Talking about something serious.
Talking about what comes after the sex.
Yeah.
After purpose.
The consequences of sex.
Ooh. Yeah.
I've read up.
The bebes.
All
Little
the babies
babies.
made.
So I guess, should we throw a disclaimer?
Maybe we should introduce
Like-
ourselves.
Oh yeah, that too. Hi, I'm Kayla.
I'm Destiny.
And today,
Oh, yes! Today we have David and his girlfriend Kathleen.
as our special guest again. Woo!
Dude, we're on point today.
We're twinning out.
Rosa.
Yeah, fuck you, Rosa. I'm not editing that out either, so I hope you listen to this. Annie.
Yeah, balls in my mouth.
Huh? Balls in your mouth?
Yeah, balls in my
No
mouth.
perverted things.
Yeah, we're talking about babies, okay?
Oh, so disclaimer, I guess if you find the subject of schmishmorshins too serious, don't fucking listen.
Adios.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Bye,
We don't want
Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
You can mute it, but you can still keep it going.
Yeah, you didn't keep it going, or just turn it down really low so we get.
Hey, give us your review. We need that. We need those cents.
Yeah,
Just kidding. Not from someone who is pro-life.
But money's money.
Yo.
20 cents, though.
What?
Did you just spend $1 for it?
Anyways. Abortion.
Where do we start?
There's a lot.
Where do we start?
I mean, this just may be a 2-hour-long podcast.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, there's a lot of viewpoints. I can see that, but then, like, everyone is wrong. No, I'm just
David.
kidding. I'm just
Yes.
kidding.
David, what if someone told you you can't jack off? You know, you're killing all those fucking sperm babies.
Fuck them kids.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Okay.
You're stupid.
Yeah, you guys. That's it. That's it. You're stupid. End the podcast.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid.
Idiots. Stupid heads.
Your sponsor's gonna pull that now.
yeah, just pull up now.
Demonetized.
Is this
We have
plugged
no
in?
sponsors. No.
Good. It's a good cause.
Well, maybe should we go around the table and see who's pro whatever the fuck they are?
Well,
We're obviously all pro-choice.
You're assuming that? Yeah.
You're assuming that?
I would hope so.
I was like, oh,
my
the offenders.
It's like, this is a 2-hour podcast now.
Yeah. I was like, fuck. No, just kidding. No, yeah, so is everyone here pro-choice?
Yeah.
That means...
That you're like for whatever the
yeah,
woman
yeah,
wants?
Yeah. I don't know all that pro before.
Like, pro-life is meaning that, like, you're against abortion. And then pro-choice meaning that you're, like, okay with it.
Yes, pro-choice for the win.
Okay, go Kathleen.
Yeah, we
You
could
look like
see
you have-
Kathleen is
I
boiling.
literally did a whole paper.
Yeah, speak to the mic.
Exactly. Tell your professor what's up.
Be like,
I
hey, yo,
literally
yo, yo.
did a whole paper just on what's been happening on abortion. Roe versus Wade, abortion, pro-life, pro-choice. There's too much information in my head. Getting me heated. Social media is not fun.
Yeah, to be fair, fuck Twitter. Twitter's stupid.
Yeah, all over Twitter. It's
Just-
abortion.
Everyone sending each other, look at this dumb tweet.
It is dumb though.
Yeah.
Those tweets are dumb.
Yeah, if you tweeted that,
Yeah, fuck you.
don't at me, bro.
Can we, like, Can we, like, specify what the tweet is?
I don't know,
Too
just
many.
like random people.
Let's see. Let's open my Twitter right now.
Yeah.
It's people
Most
saying
recent
how.
I'm gonna be like
The
at.
The most recent one is Missouri.
Yeah.
With their 8 weeks, you can't get an abortion.
So is it just, like, the tweets that are, like, all the new information that's coming out?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that and plus people are like, well, it's a baby. It's a life. You're killing. You're murdering.
Oh,
Alive.
those governors or whatever, they said some stupid shit. I don't know if it was real or not, but like, they
Oh.
were, like, it was like a list.
The rape one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the rape ones.
It's like it was like they shouldn't have let it happen. Then I was like,
What the?
Yeah, like, okay, with those ones, I don't know how real those are or if they're, like, you know, because
That's
it
why I
just
can't
has
say anything. So.
exactly. It's kind of hard to say with those ones because it's literally just like a picture of them and then like supposedly a quote from exactly what they said, but it's like, did that quote get misinterpreted or what? Read out loud for the crowd,
no, don't
please.
read that one out loud. Okay.
This
the
is
most
an off
recent
topic.
one.
It's the middle one. They both like.
Okay, the most recent one is Missouri signed a bill that bans abortions on or beyond 8 weeks of pregnancy without exceptions for cases of rape or incest.
I feel like the rape is like the most fucked up part.
You didn't find the incest
Well,
fucked up?
okay, like obvious.
No, it's because incest is normal out there, remember?
Yeah, in the South, it's like okay to marry like your first cousin.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how that's still even a thing. That's like, oh yeah, you can fuck your dog. Doesn't matter.
It's bestiality, that's not incest.
Bark.
Yeah. Is that a coyote killing a cat, or is that just my cousin fucking the cat?
The fact is that if you ban abortion, you're not getting rid of abortion, you're getting rid of safe abortions.
Mm-hmm.
Which means women are going to go back to,
Coat
putting
hangers.
coat hangers in their vaginas and
Buttholes.
inserting chemicals to try and get rid of the baby. And
Falling
back
downstairs.
alleys,
Or
basically.
killing themselves.
Yeah.
Or traveling
suicide.
across the country just to get an abortion.
So basically you're killing 2 lives instead of trying to save one.
It was Oregon that was like, anyone, any alien, anyone can come to our state for an abortion, right?
Yes,
Was that
Oregon.
Yeah,
Yes,
good,
sister
good
Oregon.
For you. Good for you.
Well, I'm pretty sure like here in California is the same.
Oh. Yeah, go California. You did one thing
Yes.
right.
We're like
Sister
the
California.
state of all liberals, so
Yeah.
we're pro-choice on fucking everything.
Fuck yeah. Fucking California.
Yeah.
Woo.
Woo.
Except if you live in like white people places like your
Yeah, like,
Belinda.
fuck your Belinda.
Fuck your Belinda. No, fuck your
Yeah,
Belinda.
fuck your Belinda. And Brea.
And where?
I said Bonaparte. Can you guys think of like one reason why this law would be good?
No.
Right?
No.
There is literally no
No.
good reason why it should ban it at all. Why the choice should be taken away from women.
It's like, are those states run by like religious, you know, like
Yeah.
pro-religious people?
In the South
Well, that's
are-
funny because then they're marrying their first cousin. That doesn't seem right.
That's why they didn't.
Keeping the family name.
Yeah, that's because like those states have those beliefs, and that's why they're making those laws. It's not like here where they're like. That's why most people here are mad about that, but not all people are outraged over there because they decided that. Right?
So how do you guys feel about the people that were saying like, well, if you don't like your state laws, then just move?
Yeah.
Not to California.
Yeah,
Please.
not
Please.
yeah.
No, I
We already
mean,
have enough smog here, please.
no, for those people that like
That's
No.
support.
need to get an
I mean-
abortion
Oh, yeah.
or something.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
People do go to those lengths just to get
It's-
an abortion.
Which is sad. It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
no, yeah, you
But
shouldn't have to
It's
travel.
still a choice. Like, if you believe that, you're killing a life, don't fucking do it. But that's your religion. And it's freedom of religion, of your own beliefs. You can't force your own religion on other people.
If you don't like abortion, don't get one.
Don't get one.
Yeah, I mean,
Have
it's
your
that
kids.
it's that
Yeah.
plain and simple, but I feel like I guess
It's
I feel
not
like
plain and simple anymore. That's
that's the thing. Like they've made it so complicated, whereas before it was like, yeah, you either like are for people that want to get abortions, or like you're against them, or like, and then that was it. But now it's like, now you fucking complicated it. It's no longer just black and white. There's so much in between. I mean, the only viewpoint that I could see if like, oh, we would deny you an abortion is like, say it's a woman who's like irresponsible, not in the form of like, oh, I got raped. Obviously that's a completely different situation, but like a girl that's just on drugs, just goes out and hooks up with dealers for drugs and gets pregnant. Like, that's the only time that I can understand. Like, well, for one, you should probably maybe get an abortion because that child is going to have defects in a poor living situation. But on the other hand, it's like, are those the people that you should deny to hold them accountable for their own actions and irresponsibility?
Wasn't there like one exception to like if the mother's in like
That's the
danger?
only exception
Yeah.
for all of them, really.
So just say you're dying.
But I'm sure they're gonna do like medical testing to like prove that. They're not gonna just be like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, you're dying.
Even if you get a miscarriage, they're gonna assume, oh, you induced this yourself, so we have to investigate.
It's like 99 years in jail.
Yeah, because now they're trying to throw out like felonies for it, right?
99 years for a doctor who does it.
But I heard it's
so
less.
fucking crazy.
It's a lesser sentence if you
Right.
rape someone.
So the rape, like, no.
The rape is like I think 15 or I don't know, a lower number than 99 years.
I just feel like
Are people
who?
fucking stupid?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Are
saying.
people
It's like 1, 2,
People
3,
are
4, 5,
actually
6, 7. PEMDAS bitch.
Oh my god.
People emphasize the separation of church and state, right?
Yeah.
But they're basing their beliefs on this
Mm-hmm.
religious belief. So it's like, where you guys are contradicting yourselves, right?
Like I don't understand who this came across, and they were like multiple people were like, "This sounds like a great idea. Yeah,
It's
let's
like that-
ban it."
It's like that business
See,
meme.
that's why I did not want. I mean, if this has a major correlation or not, but this is why I didn't want Trump or anyone relating to Trump becoming in a high like position.
You know what's funny though? A long time ago, he said, "Oh, I believe in pro-choice." Like he
Yeah.
supported abortion a while ago.
Well, of course, it's
Yeah.
politics. I
Yeah.
believe it's all politics.
Mm-hmm.
We're believing a man who doesn't believe in global warming either.
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
I don't know, dude. It rained like 2 days ago.
Stop it.
Idiot.
I feel like he's the type of guy that does believe in abortion, though, because I feel like he's the type of guy that would end up getting someone pregnant, and
I mean,
then
look
he
how
would
many
tell
kids he
them,
has.
Oh,
yeah,
I
and he'd
saw.
be the one to tell them to be like, you need to go get an abortion because no one can know about this.
Yeah, there's a thing that said like, oh, politicians are pro-life until their mistress gets pregnant.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I saw that tweet. I was like, shake my head.
Yeah.
I mean, those governors,
Governor.
those governors,
Govers. Gover.
they're all men.
No, actually, the
What are you trying to say,
the
huh?
governor
There was a
of
couple-
Alabama is a woman.
Women. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Men ain't
Sorry.
shit.
She's just fucking ancient.
Yeah, she deeply believes in pro-life, so she
Mhm.
signed it.
Cause she's a cunt. How funny would it be though for like all the women that voted for it to like have medical records released showing that they had abortions?
No, yeah, a lot of women who are pro-life, they have. Oh, some of them have had abortions, and then they're like, "Oh, I regret it," so no one else should get an abortion now. So it's like you have the choice,
But
so
your
you're not
choice.
allowing anyone else to have the choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Like you're trying to like be that super overprotective parent that like shelters everyone from the world.
Yeah, mom. Yeah, dad.
Oh my god.
You were oops, baby.
I think most of us were.
I wasn't.
I wasn't.
Must be night now.
Must be.
Pro-planned. I'm just kidding.
Well, you have a little sister, so you
They're
can't
all
be.
mistakes.
You're gonna make her spit her water out.
And then we're gonna go offline now because she got all over the computer.
Yeah, and just fry everything. It'll be fine. This podcast is pointless. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. I guess what would you see as one good reason to deny abortions?
If she's had, no, I was gonna say. I'm gonna say if she's had like if she uses it as like regular birth control.
Mm-hmm.
I mean like
Yeah, that's still. But I would still like. Obviously, I would
Yeah.
offer.
yeah. Have you ever seen Orange Is the New Black?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
That chick.
She like she had so many abortions. Or like yeah, she's like. Oh, you should come back and then start a stamp card. That's how
Mhm.
you have it. And I'm just like, oh my god. And she
Like,
ended up
you got
shooting
your
up
free
the
abortion
No,
today.
wait.
the abortion center. I
But
was
she
like,
didn't have access to
birth control.
birth control.
Well, they never really explained that, but basically she was kind of the scenario that I was saying, how she was like a junkie and would
She
just
was
like hook up with dudes for like, drugs and shit, and
And the guy was just like, oh, you should go get an abortion right now or go get the pill.
yeah. So I mean, that's the only time that I could be like, you know what?
I mean,
No,
that's
those
why.
people- those people need to be educated. I just feel like
Educated.
Yeah, that's what
Educated.
Planned Parenthood is
Of-
for. They're
yeah.
offering birth control so that we don't have to get abortions.
And if you defund them,
Which is what Trump is doing.
which is what he did.
Which is so stupid because it's like if you don't want people to have abortions, like, oh, I shared something that it was like actual statistics from Colorado in regards to them giving out free birth control and how the abortion rate dropped by like 54%.
Yeah.
Something like, I'll pull it up.
Colorado's.
These pro-life people
You're
are
doing
like...
it right.
Yeah.
There's something up there.
Did that show? Must be the push.
All the
pro-life people
ganja.
are denying, they're denying the statistics and the science, and they just put all their beliefs onto religion.
So it said in 2009, Colorado began offering teens free IUDs without parental consent. Within 8 years, teen pregnancies dropped 54%. Teen abortion rates fell by 64%. And for every $1 spent on the program, the state saved $5.85 in labor and delivery costs, child care assistance, and food stamps.
Fuck yeah, Colorado.
We'll be right back after these short messages.
Yeah.
We'll be back after we revive.
This mic almost fucking took me out.
Yeah, uppercut.
Ooh. My bad.
I haven't personally met anyone who's pro-life.
Yeah, because they're not that dumb.
I don't even want to know what my parents are. People say, "Oh, you're this and this because your parents are this."
They're like,
side.
what do you think?
Have you seen that joke? Where it's like pro-life. What if your mom aborted you?
And it's always like, "Yeah,
Millennials.
let me."
I wish.
I wish.
Please. Where's the coat hanger?
Did you hear about the guy that sued his own mom because he didn't want to be born?
Oh, dude, is that possible?
Shut up.
On my way to the lawyer right now.
Yeah, he was like legit filing a lawsuit against his own mom because he
Mom, I'm coming for you.
he said,
Shady
I didn't
kid.
want to be born, so why should I have to live because you chose to birth me?
You're fucking dumb.
It's the same thing
I
with
support that.
vaccinations, right? The kid who got a vaccination as soon as he was old enough to get out of custody of his mom. Because they didn't want to vaccinate him.
We're talking about anti-vax bombs now.
For real. Kat Von D, where you at? No, I'm just kidding.
Separate topic. Let's see what I wrote in my paper. Because I have more content to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, obviously for people that are like, they're getting an abortion because of a product of like rape or something severe like that, they should have every right to, or someone who has a medical like reasoning as to why they shouldn't be giving birth, or if the child has some type of birth defect that's gonna give them like no quality of life or just a lot less quality of life. I feel like those ones should automatically have the right to get an abortion. I mean, the only reason why I could see a pro-life was, like I said, the situation with like women just over abusing the whole service
Access.
of abortion, but then like at the same time, I guess referring to those same people, or just women who had sex, got knocked up, and now they just feel like, oh, I can't provide a good enough life for this child, or like teen pregnancies that are like, oh, I just don't want my parents to find out or something.
They
Those,
just walk down the street.
Yeah.
Boom, nothing happened.
I kind of feel like for those, it's semi-selfish, because there are women in the world, like for me, like being told that like I can't have kids, or that it's going to be an extreme struggle for me to have kids. I could just go and adopt one of those children, instead of them just being like, well, I just don't want to get in trouble, so I'm just going to go and get an abortion. I mean, that's the only other thing that I can really see.
Oh, but what if? So let's say they do have the kid. I feel like if you're not fit to be a parent, 100%, I wouldn't even. That's a burden on the kid to grow up.
Well, but I mean, even if you know, like, for a fact, like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to raise this child and you don't know what to do or, like, you don't know what resources, you can always just drop a baby off at a fire station or a hospital.
Yeah, and that's
But have
why
you-
that's why there's so many kids in foster care.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and the
And then, like,
foster
that-
care system is so broken.
Yeah.
And
It's so bad.
one of the same states who like have an abortion ban, they're not letting LGBT couples
Adopt, yeah.
So like,
I
We
think,
could be lowering the number.
well, the overall, like, adoption, the whole adoption process in general is also fucked.
it's
Exactly. So if
Because-
people are gonna make abortion laws, I want to see them put money into the foster care.
Yeah, and like
To
orphanages
bettering
and things
it,
like
yeah.
that, because like Kathleen was saying, like the overall, but like how they deny LGBTQ
couples.
community, yeah, or single parents. Like, what if it's single women? They will deny you automatically. Like, no matter what your income is, you can own your own company and make millions of dollars a year, and they'll still
Fuck
deny
it, buy
you.
the foster home. Fuck it.
Just buy your own
And then
foster
fire,
care.
fire that lady that had denied you.
Yeah, like they'll deny you for that, just for being single. Like, I feel like that needs to change. Like, cut.
Welcome back. What's up, fuckers?
Disregard the last minute that was just said.
Sorry, the Red Bull's getting to me.
And it's funny because
That's why I need to be.
there's no common ground between pro-life and pro-choice.
Choice.
People who are pro-life only care about the life until it's born. They only care about it like, oh, we have to defend these unborn babies and all the millions that have died.
I mean, I've seen people who are pro-life but are also pro-choice. Like, for themselves,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they're
pro-life.
Yeah.
which is good. You have that choice,
Yeah.
so you're pro-choice.
This is America. Do whatever you want.
I think it's funny, though, people telling women what to do and, like, regulating their bodies. I think
People
that's
are still
fucked
stuck.
up. That's not fair. It's like, we're taking a step back.
People keep saying we're going back to the Middle Ages if we ban these
This is what he
abortions.
meant by making America
Yeah.
great again. Fucking
Sending us back 50 years.
yeah.
Trump is Thanos confirmed. He wants to wipe out half the population.
For real.
So many pro-life people claim that life begins at conception. It's not true. It's not. It's like science that life begins when you're born. If life begun at conception, then we'd be celebrating when we were conceived, right?
So how long does it take to find out you're pregnant? Or like,
6 weeks at least.
and then how, like, up, what is like 8 weeks or whatever for the law? Or 8?
6 weeks is in Georgia. 8 weeks is in Missouri right now. And then in Alabama, you just can't get one at all.
So you got 2 weeks to decide. I mean, I guess you got some time compared to Alabama.
That's if you find out right away.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
In some states who do have like abortions, like limitations, they'll give you a 24-hour waiting period in case like, oh, I don't want the abortion, never mind. But you still have that option in case people don't want to have the abortion. Like, okay, abortions. What was it?
oh, so if you guys got pregnant now, what would you do?
God damn it, I'm pregnant.
Well, not you, obviously. Well, I guess what would you want to do? And then Kathleen, what would you do?
Right now?
Yeah.
Kathleen, cover your ears.
Mom, please don't be listening.
Well, abortion, obviously, because I'm not ready to handle a kid. I can't
Yeah.
even handle myself. The fuck, Bridget?
If my mom emphasizes so much that if I should never get pregnant because it'll just ruin my life.
Is it your mom?
No, but I kind of need to answer this.
Okay.
I'll be
Bye.
right back.
Should I pause?
All right, girl talk. Have you guys ever
Like men age.
considered having an abortion? Like, ever had a pregnancy scare or something?
I mean, obviously I would, to be honest. Like,
I
that's
would.
completely honest.
I
Is
would.
that I am not ready,
Mm-hmm.
and
You're
I
not
don't
even
want
financially
that.
stable.
No, I don't even want kids until I'm financially stable, which would probably
Because
be
that's
weird.
worse for both you and the kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I would, once I have my kid, I would want to give them everything I can. I don't want to have limits. Like, I want them to be able to enjoy sports,
Enjoy life.
enjoy life. I mean, money doesn't buy happiness, but you need to provide.
Yeah. That's what I. That's what I. Yeah. How about you?
I mean, when because I'm older than you guys by like a few years, like 3.
Like 3.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think currently I'm just now like at a different time in life where like if it happened, I would just accept it. Plus, when I was younger, I had 2 miscarriages, so I think that alone kind of made me like, well, now if I found out I was pregnant, I would be more concerned of can I carry it to full term, and then second, if I could, then I'm gonna keep it because that's gonna be like, I think at that point it would be like my own personal miracle, I guess. But when I was younger, yeah, I was like, I cannot, like if it were to happen, I just can't. But I never, like anytime I felt like I had a scare, I would take Plan B, just because I was like, there's
Cheaper than having
yeah, and like a lot less. It's still hard on your body, but like a lot less hard than an actual abortion, because depending on the term that you're in, it can be really, really hard on your body. So it's like that alone is something else that's scary with like abortions. I mean, it makes you feel bad for the women that do have to go through with it, like especially rape victims. Like I can't imagine not only going through the trauma of being raped, but then having to go through the trauma of getting an abortion. Like those are 2 very, very hard things on your body and your mental health alone. So I mean, that's I can't
you're
even.
part of like a society and a law that's forcing you to have that baby. So it's like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah,
so
that
people resort to.
I feel like their suicide rate's gonna go up. For women, at least. Because that's a lot to carry. A lot.
Especially if it's a young girl. Like those cases where that one 11-year-old was raped and
Yeah.
she would probably not be allowed to have an abortion.
I think, didn't they end up taking her out of state to get it? Or did they eventually approve it?
I think they let her. I honestly don't know. But the morality of that, like, why would you force an 11-year-old to have a baby?
Yeah, like it just doesn't make any sense.
And there's so many pro-life people like, oh, just she has to, regardless. Like, doesn't matter.
They're like, bitch says who? That's like.
It's crazy. And then there's like the lawmakers who say that rape is like fine.
Like justifiable. Yeah, like the people that are like, oh, well, she shouldn't have worn a skirt, or.
Yeah.
People-
What the fuck?
Yeah. Or she wore she looked at him. The fuck? I look at people all the fucking time. Does that mean that they all have the right to rape me? Like, so every time I go to the gym and these assholes are eye fucking me, it should just be fine for them to all just gangbang me? Like, no.
Yeah, like, oh, they raped her because what she was wearing. Oh, they hit you because you weren't wearing a fucking helmet. We're allowed to hit you if you're not wearing a helmet. Something like that. It's like,
Yeah,
I
how does it
raped
make
her.
any sense?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's illogical. It's not good reasoning. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's sad.
That guy was wearing a green shirt, so normally when I drive, green means go, so I just hit him with my car. I thought it was fine. He wore green. He shouldn't have worn green while crossing the street. He was so stupid.
And like incest too. There are cases of rape or incest. Jeez.
Yeah, I read this story where her neighbor, this girl is telling the story, but her neighbor is like 11, and she was raped by her dad. Her fucking dad. And she was abused, and the little girl couldn't go to Planned Parenthood, so she went to the neighbor, and the neighbor got it, and like basically had to beg for the emergency pill, and she gave it to the little girl.
That's awful.
Did you ever watch the YouTube videos where it's like people of opposing sides try to find common ground? Ever see that? This one was like pro-life, pro-choice. It's like
Did the pro-lifer just sound like a fucking idiot?
no, actually no. She actually had an abortion herself, and it was like, oh, I had an abortion, so I regretted it later, so I don't want other people to do it. and then it's like, why do you have that choice, but other women don't get to? I don't know. It was just like, it wasn't people arguing. It was just like people trying to understand each other. And it was just like, pro-life still had faulty reasoning for everything.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Most of the time, they're just the pro-lifers. I feel like you said, they're either ones that had it done and then they regretted it and they're like, no one should have to do this, or it's all based off of religious beliefs.
Yep.
They're equating abortion to murder, which is really not what it is.
Yeah, but they don't feel bad when they have to put a dog down. Is that not murder? Like, you're taking them to fucking kill them. She's like, bullet points, bullet points. Yeah, I don't know. I know my husband is like pro-abortion. Like, if I were to get pregnant, we've like talked about it. He would want me to like get an abortion, but I'm like, we're like better off than most other people. So I feel like me personally, I feel like I shouldn't not be able to, like, I feel like I should still be able to have the choice, but like, for me personally, I just feel like I shouldn't.
It's kind of sad. I mean, my religion, obviously, I mean, they are pro-life, but I believe in God and everything, but that choice should still be, like, the woman's choice. In the end, it's a choice.
It's a right.
It's a right, yeah, to our own bodies.
Yeah, and I know.
So you pretty much like said fuck your religion to your own religion, pretty much.
I mean, you can, because they say a lot of different stuff. Did you see that?
I mean, I guess, now I'm not saying like fuck my religion. I'm saying I don't want to force that part onto anyone that doesn't, believe in that. If they want to one day believe in that, that's fine. Just don't shove your shit down someone else's life. Boom.
You guys know the movie Unplanned? Where it's like the pro-life movie? Where it's like this woman, Abby something, she worked for Planned Parenthood, and she was like one of the higher-ups, and she came out and told the news that like, oh, abortion is really gross and really bad, and she cited her own experience watching an abortion go down.
How many abortion / all that stuff movies do you watch?
No, there's only one, dude.
Have you seen? I was like,
no,
fuck?
it's
I
like
thought you watched.
it was just really bad because it has a lot of false ideologies, false facts, saying it's based on a true story. I think her name was Abby Johnson or something. But like, yeah, she.
No, you.
You haven't seen it. It's like a pro-life propaganda, basically, trying to get people to side with pro-life.
They're like, oh, look at this figure that
Yeah.
is pro-choice.
Yeah.
And then look now.
She was
like,
saying she was
well,
pro-choice, then she became pro-life.
That's her fucking choice. I think, honestly, to me, it's like, why do you limit people to what,
It's just the fact that you can't argue with pro-choice. I mean, you can't argue with pro-life because they're all stuck in their own heads.
They are.
Long story short, men ain't shit.
Yeah.
Basically.
No, I'm just kidding.
They're the ones making the laws.
Dude, these men, like, what if your mom was raped? Like, right now, got raped. She was pregnant, and your fucking law, she's miserable. Like, these people need to think about someone they love, like their wife. What
Closer
if,
to them.
yeah.
They're just thinking, oh, they're not my friend. They're not my.
They're like, well, it's not my problem. I don't have a fucking vagina. I don't have a uterus.
Don't look at me, damn, I'm fucking attacked right now. He's like, you have a uterus.
Fuck your penis. I'm just kidding.
But seriously, like, I remember in high school, a friend,
So do I.
something about rape. like if the girl, you know, like the girl's into it and all of a sudden she's not, then it's considered, you know, that shouldn't be considered rape. And I was so heated. And this kid has a mom, has a sister, and I was literally like, okay, what if your sister got raped?
What does this person's name start with?
P.
Fuck, that guy is so dumb.
What?
P.I. He's very tall.
Very-
Hangs out with...
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Just
Pie.
keep going.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hi.
Keep going.
Yeah.
No way.
And I told
He's dumb, dude.
His
to be
friend,
fair, he
I
hasn't
was
been
like-
laid, so...
how can, I don't know.
Oh, I saw something where it was like, well, now some lawmakers are trying to set limits on like what constitutes as
Rape?
as a I can't think of the fucking word now. Starts with a C.
Cheating.
Consent. There we go. That's the fucking word. Jesus
You
Christ.
better remember that word.
Yeah, like don't consent.
I saw that.
Yeah, how they were trying to like set rules and regulations to what classifies as consent and what's not. So like how that guy was saying how like if a woman is initially okay with it, like initially gives the okay, even once the act has started, if she
take it
changes
away.
if she changes her mind, that it doesn't matter at that point. I'm like, no, bitch. The moment I say get the fuck off me, that means
Get
you
the
better
fuck off.
Yeah, or
Pull
I'm-
your dick out.
or I am cutting it off.
Go soft.
Well, or just I'm like,
Everyone was going like,
or like just put it away.
Just stop. Just stop.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
Ejectocito, cuz.
Yeah.
You just delete us.
Yeah, it's like, how are you going to change the rules of consent? Like, what is consent or not? And then one guy was trying to say, like, oh, just her looking at you is giving you consent. Like,
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of those, like, just because you're wearing a skimpy outfit doesn't give you consent to, like, rape me, or whatever.
yeah, or even come
like-
at me, like,
People say like, "Oh, you're wearing a short skirt, so you're basically saying you want me to fuck you."
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
And
like
I was
saying
like-
you're not wearing a helmet, so you're basically saying I should
Fucking
hit you on the fucking head.
It's like the kid, have you seen the
Yeah, we're
Apple
looking at
you.
you.
Bonk.
Who are you to decide how, for one, like how women conceive, how women how women don't want to conceive or abort, like that's another thing that like it kind of makes me feel like when people are against homosexuals, why does it matter what they do behind closed doors? Like, why does it matter what a woman does with her own body? It's like the same thing.
It
Like,
just comes back to the religion thing.
yeah, exactly. It's
if
all.
they got an abortion, you would probably never even know.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's so confidential.
What does that have to do with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is me?
Yeah, mind your own business,
not-
motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what does me doing with my own body have to do with you?
It's not affecting another person anyway.
Exactly. By aborting a fetus, who are you harming? Like, if the fetus can't feel, it can't think on its own, it can't even feed itself on its own. It's like being on a ventilator. If someone's brain dead and they're on a ventilator and you remove them, they're gonna die. It's the same thing with with the fetus. Not a child. A child's different, but with a fetus, it's like if you remove the umbilical cord, it's no longer viable by itself.
Have you guys seen that tweet where it was like...
What is it?
have you guys seen that tweet where it was like...
Have you seen that tweet?
Hey guys.
Welcome to my podcast. It was like a picture of a fetus, and then it was the subtweets were like, "You're harming that fetus," blah blah blah, and then the original person was like, "That's an elephant." Like that's a picture of an elephant right there, not a human. Like that could be anything.
Yeah, people
I
are
saw
like,
I saw this pro-life tweet. It was like, Why don't you put yourself in the fetus's shoes and someone was like, fetus don't wear shoes.
You're like, okay, take
Go
off
back
my
in.
shoes. Mom, I'm coming home.
Go back. But, okay, random question, but do pro-life people, when they have kids, like boys, do they circumcise a baby? I mean, the fetus can feel,
I'm just like,
and he didn't give consent.
I feel like that's another religious
Ooh.
thing.
oh, Destiny won.
Yeah. That's true. Like, why not just raise your son without being circumcised, and then, like, when they get old enough, give them the option, like, do you want it?
Yeah.
Do you
want it?
peel your banana?
Do you want to peel your turtleneck down?
How many other ways are we going to see
Summertime.
Think that people say that, like, oh, if you don't have a vagina, you don't have a say. Do you believe that? Like, men can't have a say in what?
There's a lot of men that are against abortion.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's like when I see like pro-life posts on Instagram, it's mostly like white males in the comments saying, "Oh, people are saying."
To be fair, you live in Yorba Linda, and to be fair, you only follow
Okay,
those
but
white people in Yorba Linda.
I go look for people who are actually trying to like. I had a volunteer.
You like run around like fucking just fucking talk.
She's over on the corner holding a sign, honk if you're pro-choice.
I'm working in a church and it's all white Christian people. So
What was that? What was that? Welcome back to my podcast.
Let her talk.
my car keys, okay? Yeah, I'm always wondering. You think these people are pro-choice and like pro-life, pro-choice in my head?
The Red Bull man.
It's like the Snapchat filter.
Well, not all of them, because if you're like Destiny that goes to church and all that, quote unquote church and stuff, you have that same religion, but
You Christian?
you don't.
I am soy Christian.
I
I
am
don't
a
like to
pescatarian,
I don't-
pedestrian.
Pedestrian. I don't like to
Pescatarian.
say that I'm Christian. I'll just say like
My name's
I
Dave.
believe in God.
I mean, I wasn't that.
I don't
Nice.
like being religious.
No,
I
I
used to
wasn't
be,
either.
but I'm not. My mom only became religious because of stuff.
There's a lot of people that go to church and all that stuff, and then they just come out like
Doing
the male in the room. What do you think? Do you think a better alternative would be you can get an abortion, but like they limit the abortion, so you can't abuse that power.
What does that mean?
Like
Like, you only get 3. Okay?
yeah.
3 a year.
3 a year, yeah.
1 per quarter, okay?
You didn't pay your membership this time, so.
No,
Well,
I feel like they should be, like, I feel
Or,
like,
like there's just nothing.
Well, they
again.
should be educated.
yeah.
For one.
The
If you
only-
educate
who
people, they're
do
not gonna get it.
Have abortions need to be extra educated. In middle school, they should start. In fucking high school, options.
I
okay?
didn't know
I'm like,
about
where are you
sex.
going with this?
I know. I thought your mom was calling you.
I didn't know about sex ed. I didn't even.
Really?
Aren't they?
I
Oh,
didn't
they
get-
taught me.
Aren't
I didn't
they-
get the talk. I
Aren't
just.
they like starting to remove or like stop talking about sex ed in schools?
That's fucking stupid. Hey,
No,
hey,
they're
that's
starting.
fucking stupid.
LA County is actually enforcing it more. So they're actually starting to
great.
More
talk.
visual.
Yeah. No, they're starting to talk to your kids about sex
Maximum power.
in, was it, I think, like 3rd grade now.
Yeah. Okay. You know what?
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
what?
hold on,
Wait,
hold on.
I'm gonna forget
Hold
all that
on.
probably in 3rd grade.
It's because it's true. Once your kid starts having like questions or like is introduced, you should introduce them like in their own terms. Say like if it's a kid in like 1st grade or something, like what are they doing? Oh, you know, like or like how are babies made? You know, some kids ask. Say you need to speak in terms. I learned this in human sexuality.
I learned about sex.
Yeah, go
before.
Cypress College. Go BMO. Shout out to BMO. Wherever you are.
That you should say in terms like, oh, like the bee goes to the flower or something like
never
that.
got
That's
I
fucking
never got to talk,
bullshit.
but like,
I never got to talk. I learned about sex through porn.
Okay,
yeah, high five.
but see, that's what I mean. But some kids are like, oh, I mean, no one taught me about this. I don't know not to go.
Mom,
around,
that
you
bee's
know?
fucking the flower again.
But I think as soon as the kid has questions, you shouldn't censor it from them. You should speak
Yeah.
in
You're
terms.
like,
where
damn
they
it,
would
Timmy! I
under-
said not to listen.
Because kids are like, well, this is bad, and I won't. Kids are.
Especially
they
if you're
do
religious.
this. Yeah, they do
especially.
like the opposite of what they're told. As soon as
Yeah.
you're open, it also
No, that's
allows...
just you because you're a bad kid.
I'm not a bad kid. Look at my siblings.
Yeah, you're a better kid.
So that makes her the best one.
Good job.
I said it.
I know. I was like, wait a minute.
She's the one that accomplished it.
But yeah, you should educate your kid.
I don't know about like 3rd grade because to be fair,
I was still
don't
in
think
my time.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a fucking. I'm too busy remembering my multiplication, so.
So that's reproduction.
Oh.
What happens when you put?
How many babies will you get?
When you're fucking 3 times.
Oh yeah, didn't you see that? It's
Minus
like
one abortion.
a woman can have sex with 100 men and only get pregnant once.
Oh yeah.
A man can have sex with 100 women and get 100 women pregnant. So it's like, why are we putting so much emphasis on the women when you can have it on the men? Like
Vasectomy.
people are saying you can
Hey, man,
get
I'm not trying to get my
man
dick
can
chopped
get a
off.
vasectomy,
It doesn't hurt.
What the fuck? Yeah.
but it's not easily reversible, 100%. So getting
Use the
tubes
pill.
tied.
Use a condom.
Yeah, use a condom, even though the condom sex is trash.
Guys, it's like they're saying.
She just.
Shut up, David. No.
Guys are like against abortion, but they don't want to put on a condom because it doesn't feel as good.
They're just stupid.
I mean, they're right.
They're right, but pull out game strong though.
Yeah, like they're right, but they're wrong.
Shh, they can't know they're right, okay?
Fucking wrong.
You're all fucking wrong.
What's it called? The effectiveness of pulling out is only like 60%, 30%.
Yeah, for the weaker men.
Yeah, I'm like,
Mine is 101. Why the fuck y'all look at me?
you guys have sex?
Whoa,
whoa,
no,
ew.
no.
Ew!
No.
That's fucking gross. Play the video, Kathleen.
I'm playing it right now.
Play the video, Kathleen.
What?
I'm lost. I'm
What
confused.
videos are we talking
I'm confused.
I'm saving that for a good meme. What does Josh think about it?
Oh yeah, let's bring Josh into
Let's
this.
bring Josh into this. Let me fucking FaceTime him while he's at work.
What the fuck?
Do
He can't
it.
even have his phone
He
out.
can't have his phone out.
Oh yeah. Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding.
He's gonna be like, yeah, it's alright. No, don't do it.
It's like, hey, y'all like abortion? It's like, hell no.
What kind of meat?
Luckily, I mean, I guess not luckily. I wouldn't date him if honestly he. But he believes in the same as us. Pro-choice. Woo!
He doesn't have to worry about it because he got a macaroni, so
Yeah, I have birth control.
I tried getting a
must
birth
be
control.
fucking nice.
I have the implant. in my
$900,
arm.
The macaroni.
We
dude.
call
For
it the
what?
macaroni.
I called and asked if I can get the implant, and I can't use insurance because my parents don't know. And they're like, okay, then it's $900. I'm like, are there
At
any-
Planned
I
Parenthood?
got 900. I got paid last night. Come on.
They're
let's go.
defunded.
How about your
So they
card?
have to be.
Oh, now they have to start charging for shit.
They
That's
have
so
to be
stupid.
strict, but-
Yeah, no, I
Wait,
called
how do
them.
you pop-
I remember in high school, I thought I was pregnant. Oh my fucking
I've had
god.
too many of those. I got stressed out of my balls.
Y'all are some. Just kidding.
Y'all are some hoes.
Yeah,
No,
Don't
it
even.
was, but
Sorry.
it was me leading into the fact that I didn't know that I had like infertility problems.
Oh my god.
Wait, is this recording?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh shit.
Yeah,
Oh.
so like when I was in high school, I
You
just
are all hoes on fucking audio.
no, when I was in high school, like, so I got my very first period at like 13, and then I like didn't get it again until a whole year. So then I got it when I was 14, and then like
I think you just cut yourself down there.
I'm like then I had no.
Like,
The only abortion procedure that I know of is the pill. What else happens if you're like
Well, it depends on the term. So how like far along you are. I think California goes up to third trimester terminations.
How many semesters are there? 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's
So I
3.
take 2 semesters before getting a
Yeah, so I
abortion.
think first trimester is just the pill, which is essentially just, you can technically get the same pill in Mexico. It's like basically a stomach ulcer pill that it basically like flushes everything. So there's like a lot of women that will go down to Mexico because you don't need prescriptions for basically
You don't
anything.
need anything in Mexico.
No, yeah. So you can walk into like your local pharmacy and ask for like ulcer medication, and it's like 2 pills, and it's the same exact thing basically
It's
as
2-step, right?
yeah. Then the second and third trimester are basically the same procedures. So second trimester, depending on like how far along you are, they have like, it's kind of like a small vacuum that they go in and
So
they
it
just
is real.
because the fetus is in the sac, like the placenta, right? I'm saying that right.
Placenta.
No, it is placenta.
Yeah.
So it's
No.
Placenta.
Pee
I
is
thought
stored in the balls.
the placenta is the thing that they get nutrients from.
yeah. So they're in that sac,
Oh, okay.
and then
Amniotic sac.
amniotic
I fucking
sac.
Amniotic
Yeah.
fluid.
So the vacuum just
agree.
goes in and it like sucks out basically all of that. And then if the baby is further along and the mother can't fully, like, you don't fully dilate because you're not ready to be pushing, then they go in with, it's like clamps, and they start grabbing and pulling. So that,
Get out of there!
yeah, that pulling essentially will, they try to rip the limbs off.
So it's easier to get out.
Yeah, so then it's like just the head and the torso, and then they'll take the
So this is
vacuum.
after 8 weeks, right? Like
This
how-
is third trimester, so I want to say that's like 20.
More far along.
Yeah, that's like
when you're,
24
I feel like
weeks.
That
Is extreme.
Yeah,
That's
that's,
what-
extreme.
that's what
But
makes
8
people-
weeks, it doesn't seem too.
That's why
extreme.
pro-life people consider it murder, because you're taking something physical out of someone.
I think at that point it's
Mm-hmm.
now like physical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before that, it's not. It's just it could be anything kind of thing.
Yeah, see that's why like I feel like if you are going to allow abortion, there should possibly just be like regulation, so you can't get an abortion after like 24 or 26 weeks along.
Which is,
But
yeah.
I feel like that's reasonable at that point. Like, you have most likely known about the pregnancy and have had some time to decide what you want to do. But at that point, like,
You're being irresponsible.
yeah, at that point you should probably
So
just
there
birth.
is an alternative.
The only
Yeah.
exception to that should be if your life is in danger or the
Yeah.
baby has like a condition which you don't want to bring into life.
Yeah, like some severe
So there
defects.
is an
What it is.
alternative. Make like the extend the.
That would
weeks
be
or whatever.
that would be considered common ground.
Yeah, I would find that as common ground.
Pro-life people just want to get rid of abortion completely, which is unreasonable. That's a lot.
Y'all can get rid of it. Just don't be too fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, like to the point where you're ripping limbs off of,
Yeah,
at that
that just
now
sounds-
it's an actual baby. It's no longer a fetus if it has arms and legs and things that you can actually rip off of it. Like, there have been stories where women who have worked at abortion clinics have been present at the ones where they rip the limbs out and then do the cleaning. Because then either way, once they pull the baby out completely, then they have to go in with the like
A thing to,
suction.
like, get out all this stuff.
Yeah, to clean out all the fluids and the, everything else. And they've said that, like, as they were pulling, when they put, like, not the limbs, but the actual, like, head and torso, they're still kind of, like, moving. So, I mean, that's at a point where it's like, that's too much.
Yo, chill.
Yeah.
Do you remember sex education?
Yeah.
The girl went under when she had her abortion, but that doesn't. I don't know what that was. That was in like the UK. Women who want abortions don't want abortions just to kill a baby.
Yeah,
they
it's
don't
like-
have malice for the child.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time it's for a reason. Like, they're not just being like, I feel like
it.
killing a child today.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, like, no one out there is like, yep, Today is the day I killed my.
There might be, but
I mean, maybe some sick fuck. If that's you, go
yeah.
die. No, I'm
We're
just
coming
kidding.
for you, bitch.
No, but I mean, most of the time it's for a reason. It's not like just because.
My mom had 2 miscarriages.
Listen, man.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
some
Taking
teas.
drugs, man.
Saw that.
Macaroons
And
will
some
stop working.
vitamins.
Yeah.
I don't take vitamins. I do eat cheese. So.
Well, my birth control's
fuck?
inside of me in my hoo-ha, so it don't matter.
What are different words for vagina?
Cookie.
Pussy.
Coochie. Coochie.
Coochie.
My grandma used to call it a scooter.
The
Fuck.
I don't know
no
why.
square.
The no-no square.
In Tagalog, it's pek-pek. We say it.
What is that?
Pek-pek. It's vagina.
Oh.
In my language.
Peck-peck?
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Peck,
use that.
peck. I'm gonna peck that. Peck,
Ew, you just had to go there.
Fucking dummy, stupid head.
Yeah. Pro-choice here, all around. With limitations, I guess.
Outro.
End it.
Later, fuckers.
I'll just end it there.
That's another episode. Wait, did you already end it?
No.
Okay. That's another episode on dark reality. It truly did get dark and real up in this bitch.
For once.
For once.
With some comedic relief here and there.
It's pretty dark in a vagina. So
Yeah. The vagina
There's
is
no
a dark
baby in
place.
that's what the baby sees.
Black.
It's dark.
I'm just kidding. Just blackness.
Okay, bye.